Environmental advocates are calling on the Maine CDC to set lower limits for toxic chemicals known as PFAS in drinking water. This comes after the Environmental Protection Agency this week sharply lowered standards for several PFAS compounds, warning that no level is safe. News Center Maine's Vivian Lee has more.
After EPA regulators announced that virtually any level of exposure in drinking water is unsafe, environmental advocates want Maine's restrictions to follow suit.
It's really incumbent on Maine CDC to step forward and rapidly implement EPA science and lower the state's threshold for PFAS in drinking water.
The Fed set non-binding limits for PFOA and PFAS, two of the most common compounds, to near zero, replacing 2016 guidelines. Last year, Maine was one of a dozen states that set stricter standards for the sum of 6 common PFAS chemicals. A spokesman for the Maine CDC, which runs the state's drinking water program, tells News Center that officials are working on coming up with a final drinking water standard by 2024. In a statement, the agency said, quote, Maine's CDC drinking water program will factor this new recommendation into its ongoing work with local utilities. Advocates are also pushing regulators to use the Fed's new limits when it comes to remediating contamination and installing filtration systems for private well owners.
Last year's 20 part per trillion threshold, we now know that is too high.
The chemicals are found in products including waterproof clothing, food packaging, carpets, and firefighting foam. Federal studies have linked the industrial compounds to serious health conditions, including cancer and reduced birth weight.
To hear this agency say that and make this really bold position was validating, but also brought me a lot of emotions as well.
Andrea Amico's husband and 2 children unknowingly drank water laced with PFAS at the Pease trade port. After very high levels of chemicals were discovered in several wells at the Farmer Air Force Base, she fought for years for a federal health study into the health effects. She continues to push for health monitoring for her family and thousands of others in the Pease community who were exposed to the chemicals for years.
These chemicals are not safe at any level.
The EPA said it expects to propose national drinking water regulations for the 2 most common PFAS compounds later this year. A final rule is expected in 2023. Vivian Lee, News Center, Maine.